So it's all about the Hollywoodbets Durban July, but there are 11 other races on the card. Let's just pick the brains of the panellists here about their runners and riders, and also perhaps get an opinion about some of the other races that Mark de Kock hasn't got a runner in. Only 4 runners on the card, and they all run in Africa's greatest horse race. Race number 1, of course, begins the first jackpot. First of 3 jackpots gets underway at 10 to 12. The Bloodstock South Africa Sales Cup for fillies, and it's over 1,300 metres. Let's start off with Grant van Niekerk. You run number 1, Butterfly Beauty for Justin Snaith. You won on this filly last time out. Did she give you a nice field?
Quite a nice filly. It's a lot of scope. She has got a lot of scope, and she's got the one draw. I think she is favourite. She can definitely
33 to 10 on Hollywoodbets.
Yeah, no, she's got a good chance of winning this race. She gave me a really nice feel, as I said. It just depends how she handles the turn. Of course, it'll be her first time going around the right-handed turn.
Justin, this race is obviously restricted to horses from Bloodstock South Africa Sales. I suppose this race was always on the radar. Did she just come to hand nicely, or did you set her up looking at this race?
Yeah, look, we're always looking for horses for this type of race, and she just came right at the right time. It's not one of the stronger fields. I'm very surprised to see her short in the betting. But I think she'll run a nice race. We're not overly confident at all, just hoping for a good, positive run.
Samanga, you ride a first-timer, daughter of Flower Alley, called Acacia's Blossom for Lorenzo Karim. Do you know anything about her?
Obviously, you know, Karim, he wouldn't put a horse in this race if he doesn't think much of it. So, and having me on, we'll give the best we can.
Race number 2 on the card is the first leg of the bar pot, getting underway at 12:30. This, the male version of the first race, the Bloodstock South Africa Sales Cup for colts and geldings for a nice, healthy 400,000 Rand stake. Samanga, I'll start off with you. You ride for Fabian Habib in the former number 3 Mover and Shaker, who was a tad disappointing last time, but behind Thunderstruck, I suppose in hindsight, it wasn't a bad run. Thunderstruck, the winner of the gold medallion in Hollywoodbets Scottsville about a month ago. Can you see him shaping up?
Funny enough, Alex, I had a chance to put a leg over him on Friday, and I think that disappointing run, they found the problem. He had his tongue over the bit, and so they asked me to come and just take him just around track with the tongue tie on, and I was pretty amazed of what I felt. I think the tongue tie did do the trick, and with the draw 3, shot straight, you can't give too much start and then take it from there. Quite a nice horse.
Grant, you run number 5, Intimidator for Justin. We'll get Justin's word in just a moment. You've ridden the son of the United States twice. A better run last time out. He's obviously upwardly mobile. Is he ready for this?
He definitely would prefer the extra ground. Whether he'll handle the turn, because he is still quite a green individual, then you'd run a big race. But it's whether he comes to the course, you know, more mature. Last time I rode him, he was all over the place. He was still green, although he finished second. He does have ability.
Justin, you got 2 runners, one of them being Intimidator, the horse that Grant rides, and also number 12, Pure Maverick. Can you put your neck on the block in this race?
They're all raiding, so all the horses that are running in these BSA sales races, I find it very hard qualifying horses in Natal. So I've kept them in Cape Town, qualified them there. I think a horse like Takenaught's going to take a lot of beating here. I think I know the family very, very well. This could be something to follow in the future. I think he's going to take a lot of beating. I hope that my horses get to know the track as quickly as they possibly can, but I think that also going to take a lot of beating.
Race number 3 on the card is the first leg of the Place Accumulator. This the Group 3 Vodacom 2200. This the consolation race for the Hollywoodbets Durban July. It's the start of the Place Accumulator at 1:10. Mark, I'll start off with you because we've got the reserve for the Hollywoodbets Durban July, number 11, Airways Law, in the race. Is he a potential PA banker? Do you have any word about him?
You've got to fancy him. I love the way this horse accelerates. And he just seems to keep getting there. Huge runner, but big swing of the weights with horses like Gainsford, Fire Alley, and I like for an outsider there, I don't know if she is an outsider, Bold Fortune. I like her form lines.
She goes the trip. She is a huge runner. Justin, you've got 2 runners. If Crown Towers got into the Hollywoodbets Durban July, we wouldn't have spoken about the pace the whole time. He's in the consolation race. You got him alongside one-way traffic.
Yeah, look, there's just not much else to run him in. So he can get the distance, and one-way traffic will probably need a pace. We'll go handy on Crown Tower, maybe slow it up a little bit, and he might surprise. But I can tell you now, one-way traffic is going to take some beating. I think he's very well in. He's a horse I've been waiting to let loose. I was hoping it would be in the Hollywoodbets Durban July. Unfortunately, he just only had one run that he had to prove himself. Didn't quite go his way, and I think he's going to strip a fit horse and take some beating here.
Grant, number 10, one-way traffic in the consolation race. Are you as bullish as Justin?
No, I definitely am. I do have 6 rides with Justin, by the way, on the day, and he's probably expecting 8 winners from me. But he's probably one of my better rides on the day. His last run with me was phenomenal. He was pulling the whole way, and he still managed to have a good finish. So I'm hoping that there will be pace on. So if it is the case, he'll have a very good finish.
Right, race number 4, the first leg of the big pick 6, 12 million rand. The target in the Grade 3 DSTV Gold Vase. Always a lovely race. They go 3,000 metres. Simanga, I'll start off with you. You ride number 10, Rex Union, a horse that I see you haven't ridden before. Well bred out of famous mare Beach Beauty.
Good stayer, and obviously on this handicap race a little bit on the sufferance, but got a nice lightweight. This kind of races, normally you have quite a big field, and we're lucky now we got just only 10 horses, and you can easily filter yourself. I'm sure anywhere you want. You're not going to have many lanes to make up, and with the lightweight, I'm sure he has a bit of a chance.
Grant, you ride Salvatore Mundi for Justin Snaith. Start off with you. He's been 3,200 metres before and won. What do you make of his chances?
Yeah, obviously he has quite a good chance coming into the race. To be honest, I don't know this horse really. I probably only worked him once or twice back home. He seems like a decent stayer, and Smanga ran second on him last time. So I'm hoping I can have a few winners before the July. So he's got a chance.
Justin, you must be rubbing your hands for the Gold Cup. It looks like you've got a few stayers that are just bubbling under.
Yeah, I might. It is going that way. This race does take a lot out of them. I don't like it as a prep for the Gold Cup. It's a 3,000 just before it. It does take 10. That's why I've taken one-way traffic out of this and running him in the 2-2 as a prep into the Gold Cup. I'm going to go with a little roughie here. I like this horse here. I think my danger's Crimson King. Glenn Cotton, Richard Faree. He's under the radar, bred for it. He's hasn't been handicapped, if you want to say, into a big weight over this sort of distance, and I think he's the danger.
Mark, any parting shot for the start of the pick 6?
Well, I mean, I think this could be Hollywoodbets' big winner on the day in Blackthorn. For me, whatever beats him will win. I like his profile. He's just got beaten by Nebraska, who is close to the best stayer in South Africa. He looks like a proper, smart stayer in the making. There's very few horses in Smoking Hot's got a bit of a chance, but I really like this horse's profile. For me, a banker in all bets on the day.
And I see you formerly trained this horse, Monashada.
Yeah, well, look, this is the biggest hatchet job you've ever seen in racing in terms of a handicapping. She got beaten in an MR 77 in PE. She's been given 29 points for being a loser in her last 3 starts. Now you work that out.
Okay, that's the start of the pick 6. So Blackthorn.
And she's got to get 1 kilo, or Blackthorn's got to give her 1 kilo.
That all adds up. Right, that's the start of the pick 6. Blackthorn strong from Michael de Kock, and then respect for Salvatore Mundi as well, and maybe Crimson King and Smoking Hot can get into the mix. Right, no representation in race 5, the start of the second jackpot, the Zulu Kingdom Explorer Golden Slipper over 1,400 metres. This the fillies feature for 2-year-olds on the card. Mark, I'll just come to you. It looks to be a boat race between Sweet Pepper and Maharani. First question, is it a boat race between the two?
I do think so. Obviously, 2-year-olds are fairly difficult to assess because they can improve overnight. I like the acceleration of Sweet Pepper. The other fillies always goes very forward, and I think from the draw is going to be forward as well, and Sweet Pepper will be coming to fetch her. Obviously a good profile. I think she's unbeaten. But I liked what I saw from Sweet Pepper last time. I think she came from just about last. Hollywoodbets Scottsville, not easy on the outside to get up and win from horses that weren't stopping.
Right, on we go to race number 6. This is the Golden Horseshoe Group 2, sponsored by Durban, obviously. I think it's a nice little race, this. Grant, I'll start off with you. It was an impressive win from Cousin Casey last time out in the Gate Crasher. Went from start to finish. Never looked like letting up. Never looked like losing. Starting to emerge as a serious 2-year-old. And You won a big 2-year-old feature for Glenn Cotson here last year in the form of Good Traveller. He's got to be up to it, doesn't he?
No, he's a smashing individual. Well, as you said,
That sounds like Glenn Cotson.
Yeah, I think you'd give me a stick if I didn't say that anyway. But he is a very nice horse, and he's got an obvious chance here. This is, although, a competitive field.
Samanga, you ride also a seriously nice horse, Argo Alley. Had the worst of the draws last time up, but seemed to stay on nicely behind Quantum Theory. I think he'll like this track. I think he fits the bill as a player here. Do we include him?
Very nice horse, Alistair. Obviously, I did ride him first time out, and I told Mr. Gray he just needed a little bit of maturity. But Mr. Gray said that don't worry, this horse will surprise you. And obviously, I think his last winner, he with Muzieni, he won on a trot, and coming back to that last run, obviously, I had to overcome the draw, give weight, and I just feel that he just the weight can stop trains. So I just think that if he would have just carried fair weights, and he would have actually shown them. But Mr. Gray is quite confident bringing him here, and he thinks he's one of his best. And for me also to be riding him, I just have to agree with him. So I think a tough field, but every horse has a chance here.
He's in my pick 6, no doubt about that. Justin, you've got a reserve, number 15. It's Raining William. I'm sure you wish you got a run, but if he does sneak in, where will he shape?
Yeah, it was very disappointing, I must be honest. We had a 2 draw. He's Raining Holland's brother. Was a long trip to KwaZulu-Natal to become a reserve.
To watch from Summerfeld, yes.
Oh, I tell you, we were very disappointed, to be honest. I thought he won his maiden against Open Company very impressively. So very disappointing. And we'll probably, someone will scratch and we'll be drawn 15. So I like a horse here. I think the draw could be an issue. Bright Green, I think he's a big runner. I think he's a very smart horse, and I like Grant's ride there, Cousin Casey. I think they're 2 very nice individuals. And I think the winner could come from one of them. But in these races, there's no collateral form, and anything's possible in these 2-year-old races.
Go with your eye there. Mark, you look like you're itching to say something.
Golden Prospect and Laguna Verde. Leave them out of nothing at your peril.
Right, so there's some horses for all your bets in race number 6, all your all-to-comes as well, courtesy of Hollywoodbets. Right, race number 7. We've gone in depth with the Hollywoodbets Durban July. We don't need to get any more. The ball's now on your court, so let's page along to race 8. As mentioned, it's magnificent to have English Premier League royalty coming out to Hollywoodbets Greyville. It's the Brentford Football Club Garden Province Stakes, another race steeped in history, potentially a champion maker at the Equus Awards. And it's all about Captain's Ransom here, Justin. But I hate to remind you, this time last year was the only time in her whole career she ran a stinker. Was there any reason for that? Is she ready for this?
100%. She unfortunately contracted a virus, and I should never have run her. There was circumstances that led us to thinking that everything was right. Certainly wasn't. She and ran according. The fact that she even ran that close on the blood picture we got on Monday is incredible. No horse in South Africa would have run that close with what she had to deal with a couple of days after that. So I can assure you, touch wood, everything's 100%.
Touch your head.
Yeah.
Touch Botox.
So she's in great form at the moment. She's really doing well at home, and I couldn't be happier. And I think she'll showcase what she's really about. She loves it here. It's just unfortunate she got sick last time. She really enjoys Natal. You saw in the South African filly sprint, that was her gallop. So you can work it out.
You also put a saddle on Silver Darling. Don't forget about her. She's already won a Group 1 this season. Is this just to keep her ticking over and perhaps get into the places? Or is she a serious runner?
You know, this filly's really doing well here. She's come on so much. Everything must go perfect this week for me to run her. I do think there's a 2,000 at the end of the month on Gold Cup Day that I just want to look at the conditions, whether she gets penalised for being a Group 1 winner. I got a funny feeling she does, and if that's the case, we won't run her here. So I'm still toying with the whole thing, making sure that everything is spot on.
Grant, you ride Silver Darling. First of all, how slowly did they go in the Will Avington? I mean, how much did that suit you, or do you think if they went hard, she wins anyway?
I think she wins anyway. She is quite a very nice. She's a very nice filly. Of course, the Captain's Ransom she's a freak. There's no doubt about that. she's caught me on a few occasions in grade ones, and I thought I was cantering. But if she does fluff her lines, then my filly can definitely win it. I think she is a special filly, and I think she'll just keep getting better.
Mark, banker in all bets, captain's ransom?
I think she's the best horse in South Africa, to be honest with you. And only her being sick will stop her.
Okay. Race number 9 on the card, the Post Merchants. Actually great to have a feature race sprint on Hollywoodbets Durban July. This race traditionally run in mid-June. 400,000 Rand is the stake. It's always a lovely race. And Samanga, I'll kick off with you. You ride the mystery man, William Robertson, who turned up here at Hollywoodbets Greyville on Hollywoodbets Gold Challenge Day, beat the computer form sprint winner in the form of Master Archie, went back to Joburg 5 days later, won again. He's travelled again. There's only one man in the country who can do that. That's Corne Spies. You've got to go in with a fair degree of confidence, even though a normal punter will look at this prep and say, surely he can't manage another run.
Alistair, very nice horse. Obviously, when the first time I bought him, they have made an equipment change. They had blinkers on him, and I felt like I was going to take him to the front, but there was quite a lot of pace, so I ended up sitting second, and I came in the straight, asked him for the airfit, and he gave it to me. And Francino D taps me on the shoulder, says, don't worry, he's running again over 1,400 in Joburg. And I was like, when is that? And coming to the race, I was a bit nervous, so obviously feeling that it might have been too soon, but I think everything just went his way, and I just got off him. After that, I did actually speak to Mr. Nodi and Mr. Spies, and I asked, please, whenever he runs, I would like to ride him, because there's just some qualities about him. And this race came up. They asked me, do you think he can do it? And I said, definitely. So blinkers are going to be on soon, and then we're going to let him try and overcome the draw. And I think when you look at the horses in this field, you know what, for me, I think I'll give a little bit of confidence. I think he'll be my next second best ride on the day.
Right, so there we go. Fighting talk from Samanga Khumalo. What about Isivungu Vungu, Grant Fanika? You riding him. You haven't ridden him in a race before, but July Day is all about stories. We know about all the famous chapters that have been written in the Hollywoodbets Durban July. Now Hollywoodbets obviously sponsored the July. They have a fantastic chance with Blackthorn earlier on. Just imagine Blackthorn wins and then Isivungu Vungu wins the Post Merchants. Be a big nut for the purple guys.
Could be. I know Peter Muscat is quite upbeat about him. I know the weight swing around as well. He's got a small chance. I do, however, think Smangazus in William Robertson win very easily. And you have to respect a filly like Sound of Warning. She got beaten a length by Captain's Ransom, and on that makes her a runner.
And fillies, of course, do come in well weighted in this particular race. Justin, another reserve. You've got to work on these horses' ratings a little bit better. Quintus Light.
I've made her a big runner at the weights. I had Muzi Yeni on. We were drawn 2. Now we're reserve. So, and it goes like that. There were a couple of other guys that are actually more unlucky in becoming reserve runners. But I don't like the look at this race. I think for punters, you have to be really careful. Greyville 1200 draws are paramount. This for me is by far the most open race on the card, purely because of the draws. I do agree with Grant. I think Sound of Warning is the filly here because she's drawn well. And I see I lost my rider, Muzi.
I don't think he minds the fact that you're a reserve and he's got Sound of Warning. I'll make her the horse to beat.
Yeah, for me, definitely, purely because Shmanga has got a 12 draw, and I think Shmanga's on the right horse. He's just got a lot of work to do, and if he gets the luck of the running, then for sure. For me, I think it's the last leg of the pick 6. If I'm going to be playing one, I'm going field in the last. You don't want to be going out the last.
Especially with Captain's Ransom and Blackthorn earlier on. Maybe you've got a bit of room to manoeuvre by the time you get there. Race number 10 is the Companion Insurance Brokers Handicap, the former Tequila Handicap, and this for 150,000 Rand. This is the pick 3 get-out stake, so to speak, a big pool expected. Justin, I'll start off with you. Warrior, who held a Hollywoodbets Durban July entry all the way, didn't get there. I thought he was... I said when he won at Kenilworth on Queen's Plate Day about 18 months ago that there's something about him, and he's shown that there's something about him. But is he just off the best? What's the story there?
No, we arrived in Natal. We had the rain. They cancelled his race. It never came back, unfortunately. Then had to go straight into the Cup trial, I think it was. And let me tell you something about the Cup trial. It was the fastest run race this entire season. They went flat out. And these horses were really, really exhausted. Coming for your first run, prep into Natal, you were hoping for like an easy type of race, and it couldn't have been harder. Back into a mile, big run on the day. I mean, if you think he's that type of horse, and now I've gone down to the listed race on the day, half a decent draw, the greatest jock in the country. Mm-hmm. One of the best bets on the card.
Grant, who's the best jockey in the country?
I think there's so many talented jockeys. I mean, yeah, we're sitting with Smanga right next to me. Richard, all the list goes on. Gavin, Warren Kennedy come to play. Jeez, it's very hard in South Africa, I must admit. I think that most of the top 10 guys will own outside of South Africa anyway. So it is very hard to win a race in South Africa.
Can you bring Warrior home for the punters?
I think I can. As Justin alluded to, they went flat out last time, and he obviously was a horse that was always going to need his run. And he didn't get beaten far, only got beaten 3 lengths anyway. By Airways laws, no slouch. So I do make him one of my better rides on the day.
Samango, you ride number 10, Hasta Manana for Lorenzo Karim. I see the last time you rode him ran 2.5 lengths to Waterbury Lane. That piques my interest a bit.
Yes, it's obviously quite a nice thing. I just saw the replay obviously when we were watching the reruns now. And this was got a sense of just taking a hold, and I just wish obviously the pace will be just genuine, and we'll try and just give him a little bit of a chance and try and settle him, and then let him do his best towards the end. I think obviously my plan is to just try and settle him, because I sort of like battled to bring him back. If he does take a hold, that's my race gone.
Okay, so just watch out for Hasta Manana. On to the penultimate we go, race number 11 over 1,800 metres on the poly track. It's the XM MR86 handicap. And Grant, kick off with you. You're riding for Andre Null, number 3, Sunday Island, who is probably better over further. Is he targeting something else, or is this the type of race for him?
No, he can definitely win. I do know that his work on the sand's always been good. That's why Andre obviously opted to run him on the poly. And it would be nice to have a winner for Mrs. Platner on the day. So I am contracted to ride for them, so I have to give it my 100% over here. He's got an obvious chance, and I've actually got very good rides on the day, so I'm hoping to finish it off strong as well.
Samanga, your last ride on the day comes in the form of Snow Palace for Corne Spies. He loves it around the Hollywoodbets Greyville poly. Top weight though, but she could be a danger. What do you make of her chances?
Very nice filly. You can, I don't know if you know her, she's a beautiful grey horse and a massive stride underneath her. Obviously, I was aboard her for the first time, and I won on her, and I didn't get to actually to ride it next time out. And then I see she came down to the poly track, and she came and blew them away. I spoke to obviously Mr. Spies, and they're really confident, and also I spoke to the dog, the owner. She's really excited. Obviously, it's a big day, and all the owners are very excited to have a runner on a day. I think this is a kind of race where I'll have to allow her to go to the front, and then she loves it up there. She got a beautiful action, and just hopefully I can just fight them off and let her do the trick.
Okay, so that's the representation from the panel of the 12 races. Sadly, no Kock, no Snaith, no Niekerk, and no Khumalo in the 12th and last race. So I'm going to try and tip your winner in the 12th race. I'm going to go with my Sherry Amore. Muzieni takes her out for Glenn Cotson. I know she's a 2-year-old, one of a couple 2-year-olds in the race, taking on older company. but she doesn't have to be too good to beat a field of fillies and mares 74 level over 1,600 metres. She switched last time out. She was unlucky last time out, and Muzi 52.5 kilos on the back. I think that could be a nice way to finish off proceedings on Hollywoodbets Durban July, the first time that Hollywoodbets paint the town purple. Been a great pleasure. Just a parting shot from each of the panellists. Mark, first of all, thank you so much for your time. All the best on Saturday. You'll have a lot of supporters with your forerunners in the big race, but just what a magnificent day. The fact that people are allowed to come back, the fact that July fever really and truly has bitten. Where racing is, where racing has been, where racing hopefully is going. Hopefully it's a dawn of a new era.
I think so. Certainly with the new sponsorship of Hollywoodbets, there's no doubt. Racing, in my opinion, is getting its mojo back. This race is getting its mojo back. And the town is purple. And it's fantastic for the game. I feel a real positive spirit amongst everybody in racing. There's a real positive groundswell, and that is something we haven't felt for a good few years.
Justin, I know that you've been very complimentary, and rightly so, about Hollywoodbets since they took over the Durban July. The way that they've just almost added an extra dimension. They're showing that there's always room for growth, room to progress. And it's just a day that I'm sure that everyone just wishes to be at. And I know that you're not a man that looks at stats and everything else. You just want success. You want your horses to be successful. You want your owners to be happy and to have their winners. But this really is the day, isn't it?
No, look, it's you're all coming together in one spot. So I made it very clear that the added value that Hollywoodbets have brought to it lured us back to the coastal town. And it's game on, and it's amazing to be up against Mike in this year's race in a way. He's been the bar in Group 1 racing for the last 50 years here in South Africa, and I get to take him on.
Slowly with the 50.
None of his age, hasn't he?
Slowly.
Grant, when you turn up here on Saturday morning, is it any different for you? Is it just another day at work, or do you get your head really into the zone and say, right, the world's watching, it's time to do business?
No, definitely that does change a little bit. What pushes jockeys is the crowd, so I am looking forward to having the crowds back. You just get that extra oomph, to raise your game and to make sure you're doing everything right. Of course, we can't do it without the support and without the horse underneath us. So at the same time, we just also want to make it home safe to our family. So I'm very much looking forward to racing. I know Hollywood's been doing so much for racing at the moment, and for us jockeys, we are blessed that they have put their hand up and doing this for us. So it's from all the jockeys, I can talk for all of them and say thank you.
Samanga, Bling, you're a busy man. You're on an aeroplane every second day, but again, this is really the day when they do the role for the jockeys and introduce everybody, and you being who you are, the popular jockey that you are, the support, the following that you have. When Craig Peters welcomes you into the parade ring to take your place on sparkling water, and the crowd goes wild, I know that you're a man that loves the limelight, but you also take it the right way as well. How does that make you feel?
This is what we love doing. I wouldn't change it for anything else. Obviously, coming from background without knowing what was a horse racing was, for just not knowing horse racing at all, and to becoming this guy, just a big laugh. But having said that, it's just for me, I'm just blessed, and as Grant said, we're just happy to be here. We're happy to be on horses, but we also do need the crowd, and obviously we all know as Durban town is painted purple, so let's hope for the best.
What if that wasn't an omen to end? Thank you very much for watching the 2022 Hollywoodbets Durban July panel. Been a great pleasure. May all your dreams come true on the first Saturday of July. Huge thanks to Hollywood for all that they've done, for putting their brand and putting their name behind Africa's greatest horse race. We'll see you at Hollywoodbets Greyville Racecourse on the 2nd of July.